What's up, everybody? Oh god, my throat. What's up, everybody? I am back with another video. Finally, I am back with a Q&A, and yes, I am using a fisheye lens because I bought a fisheye lens for my phone and I want to try it out. I'm just basically looking for an excuse to use it, so that's why I'm using it. Okay, but isn't that cool? Come on. Don't I look kind of cool in the fish islands? Okay, anyway. I do apologize if I keep looking at the screen right here instead of looking at the lens. I'm gonna try my best to look at the actual lens, but you know, this be distracting me, okay? I asked you guys on Instagram once again to ask me some questions because seriously, I think the last time I did a Q&A video was, I think, like in November. That's kind of a disgrace, okay? Oh my god, you guys, I just hit 70,000 subscribers. Holy mother of God, Jesus. Ugh. Thank you guys so much. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, 70,000 subscribers. That's crazy. I don't even know what that looks like. I'm gonna divide this video into two different videos. So the reason for this is because there's a very popular family of questions that I get all the time, and I feel like it needs to be addressed in like a separate video on its own. And the questions that I get are basically anything to do with dealing with family members or dealing with friends that aren't vegan, dealing with unsupportive family members, you know, social situations, basically how to deal with a non-vegan social environment. And these questions, for some reason, are the most common questions that I get. So again, that's going to be in a separate video. Right now, I'm going to answer all the other questions. If I do miss your question, I do apologize. I'm going to try my best to answer all the questions to the best of my ability. But I did get a lot of questions, so thank you guys very much. If you aren't following me on Instagram, it's at cheaplazyvegan. Nobody believes the facts that I tell about veganism because they are usually from the internet. Even when I tell them it's a scientific research with proper sources and everything, they still believe it's all made up to make veganism seem like it's the best thing in the world, which it is. Have you ever been through this kind of situation, and how do you deal with it? So, first of all, yes, there's a lot of scientific research out there saying that veganism is very healthy for your body and how animal products aren't good for your body and how they cause all of these issues. And there's all of this research about global warming and, you know, all of these numbers, and these, you know, these facts are out there and they are facts. Maybe people don't believe them, but that doesn't matter. Like, those facts to me, they don't matter. Do you know why? Because that's not the reason why I'm vegan. You know, I don't care about all these numbers. All I know for a fact, and I don't need fancy science to back this up, all I know for a fact is that I know that there are billions of animals out there that are being abused and being killed. I mean, if you have a piece of steak, there's really no denying it. That piece of steak came from an animal that was killed for the purpose of consumption. That's all you really need. And since you are probably a living and healthy vegan, you are living proof that you don't need animal products to be healthy and live, basically. They can try to combat you all you want, but in the end, it's like, this is the reason why you should be vegan, not because of all of this fancy scientific research or, you know, all this crazy shit. It's like, that doesn't matter. What matters is that we know animals feel pain. Animals are sentient beings. You don't need, you know, fancy scientific data for that. We know that billions and billions of animals are being killed for the purpose of consumption. And if you look at the number of people that eat a very high animal product based diet, then we know that a lot of animals are being killed for that. So once again, we don't really need to prove that because it's common fucking sense. It's so hypocritical that everyone thinks they love animals, they say that they love animals, and yet they need all of this scientific data to prove that they probably shouldn't be eating those animals that they love so much. It's like, what kind of data are you looking for? That's what I have to say about that. I probably sounded really rude there, but whatever. Thank you for your question, by the way. Thank you for all of your questions. Okay, how do you feel about palm oil? Confession, I do not know much about palm oil. I haven't done the research. I know that it is a controversial ingredient, it's a controversial topic, and a lot of vegans do avoid palm oil. I'm gonna be honest, like I said, I don't know much about the topic. I know that it's not environmentally friendly, and that's the main issue that has to do with palm oil. I think it has other, just negative impacts on animals. I think orangutans or something. I don't avoid palm oil. Like, I'm sorry if that makes me kind of, I don't know what that makes me, but I don't avoid palm oil. That being said, I don't buy lots of foods that contain a lot of palm oil. Like, I don't buy, jugs of palm oil. Like, I might buy something once in a while, like maybe a vegan cream cheese that probably has some sort of palm oil, but that's very rare. So I just feel like, I guess I just don't really want to like stress about something that I don't really think that I am contributing too much, but that's just the way I see it. Feel free to let me know about palm oil. Yeah, I mean, it's very hard to avoid everything that could be potentially bad for the environment and for, like the world. There are so many things that are bad, but again, I don't really buy too many things with palm oil, so I just feel like I'm not contributing too much to whatever it is that makes palm oil evil. Oh god. Do you take vegan supplements, and if so, which? I get this question a lot. I take B12. That's all I take, other than vitamin D. But vitamin D I take because I don't get enough sunlight. Did you see any weight changes going from meat eater to vegan? Oh my god, I really need to do a weight loss video or a weight video. I get this question a lot about weight. Overall, I would say that it is easier for me to keep the weight at a lower level, especially considering how much I'm eating compared to what I used to eat, or how much I used to eat to try to keep my weight at a certain level, if that makes sense. That being said, going vegan or following a plant-based diet doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're going to lose weight, and you shouldn't be doing it for that reason, in my opinion, because the definition of vegan does not mean that it's a diet that you follow. Like, it should be based on an ethical stance. That's the way I see it. But I do believe that following kind of a whole foods plant-based diet helps, minimize weight gain and helps kind of maintain a healthy weight. That's how I see it. But anyway, my biggest slip-ups happen when I go out for drinks. I get drunken munchies and end up eating non-vegan junk food. How do you prep for that? Okay, I like that question. Okay, drunken munchies. There are vegan drunk foods. I mean, the easiest one would be like French fries, or chips as they call them here. French fries are awesome drunk foods, let's be honest, and they're pretty much sold anywhere. Another favorite of mine would be falafels. Like, falafel wraps are amazing, and they're just like the best drunken 3 a.m. type food. And also, you could just keep vegan junk food in the house, so if you can wait to get home, then you can get home and eat the vegan junk food when you get home. That's what I would recommend. Did your portion sizes increase when you became vegan? Yes, overall I would say so. What do you think is the best way to convince your friends and family to veganism? Do you suggest the FREELEE way or the opposite of that? I actually heard this from someone, I can't remember who told me this, but basically you should just do whatever it is that worked for you. Use whatever method worked for you. If FREELEE convinced you to go vegan, then there are obviously people that have went vegan thanks to whatever FREELEE's doing. Which video convinced you? What kind of message convinced you to go vegan? What kind of message planted those seeds? Do whatever it is that worked for you, and we can stop arguing. Because I know a lot of people like to argue about what's effective, and I have my opinions on what I think is effective, but maybe someone out there became vegan with a method that I don't think is effective, but who knows. Personally, I don't think it's effective to go to like a restaurant with like picket signs and yell at people eating steak, for example. Like, that to me probably is not effective, but who knows, maybe someone out there went vegan because they were eating steak at a restaurant and animal rights activists came in and yelled at them. I don't know. What are your thoughts on secondhand leather or wool? Secondhand leather or wool, I'm completely fine with people using. I actually think it's probably better, for example, in the case of leather, in my opinion, it's probably better to use secondhand leather than to buy like new synthetic leather because of like environmental issues. I feel like it's obviously more environmentally damaging to buy new like fake leather products rather than just, you know, using secondhand leather, for example. I mean, the damage is already done. No more cows are going to die because you're using secondhand leather. So I don't really have a problem with people using secondhand leather. In my opinion, like I wouldn't have a problem using secondhand leather. Yeah, it's a little bit creepy, but that's the way I see it. What is your go-to comfort meal? Pizza? I just always eat pizza. My go-to meal would probably be like pasta though. Like I always like to make pasta. I feel like everything I eat is a comfort meal because like I eat like rice, pasta, bread, just like carbs. So I feel like these are all comfort meals. I don't know. Which city that you've lived in is the easiest to be vegan? This city right here, probably, from my experience. London is a pretty good city to be vegan. Most people know what vegan is, even. It's a big city, so there's a lot of options. But, like, I've traveled to a lot of cities that are quite vegan friendly as well, so. Do you find attitudes toward veganism different where you live in the UK compared to where you lived in Canada? So in Canada, I lived in a city called Calgary. That's where I'm from. And the city of Calgary is, I think, a bit over 1 million people in terms of population. So I think, yeah, slightly the attitudes are different. I also think that attitudes are changing quite quickly and more people are becoming aware of veganism. I think overall people here kind of know what veganism is a lot more than back where I'm from. I think that it's more accepted when I go to places. I find vegan options more often in London, but that's just simply because I feel like London's a bigger city than where I'm from in Canada. Like I know Toronto is a very vegan friendly city. So any travel plans this year? Actually, the day after tomorrow I'm going to Ireland for St. Patrick's Day. Woohoo! In April I'm going to Lyon in France, and I'm also going to Tenerife in April, and then I'm going to travel in June, and I'm not really sure exactly where I'm going, but I'm definitely going to be traveling this year. I'm just trying to decide exactly where I want to go. I kind of want to go to Greece and like the Mediterranean area, but we'll see what happens. What age is it healthy to go vegan? At any age. You can go vegan at any age. Vegan is not an unhealthy diet. Yeah, there are people that are born vegan, okay, and that have been vegan their entire lives. So it is completely healthy to go vegan, in my opinion, at any age.